All right, here's a video on nested formulas. Now, nested formulas, it sounds awfully exciting and difficult. It is fairly difficult, but you just have to keep concentration and do this methodically in order to be able to do nested formulas. So what I mean by nested formulas is when you've got a formula within a formula within a formula within a formula, it's usually functions within functions within functions. So for argument's sake, index and match would be a nested formula because you'd start with index, and then within that index formula, you would put a match formula, which is a nested formula within one formula within another. Now, sometimes, I mean, that's a relatively straightforward one because a lot of people, if we do index and match over and over and over again, it kind of becomes one formula. You don't really think of it as a nested formula. But sometimes you have to do proper nested formulas where you actually are collecting various bits of data within a formula and then putting that in a bigger formula. Let me show you what I mean. I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. The concept still stays the same with what I'm about to show you. So let's just say we want to use the index and match formula. If you don't know how to do this, watch the index and match video. I'll explain exactly how to do this. But we're doing index and we want to collect that data there. Row number, match, row 4. Let's just lock that in place with that. Want an exact match. And then match column number with that 0. All right, so now what we're doing is 4C, 4C77. So we got that one. So now what we do is we copy that across, and now we're looking up, did I do that correctly? Yes. That's all looking up the right thing. So here we've got B6, 6B, which is 7, and A2, which is 3. So those lookups are all looking up based on what we've got at the top here. But now what I want to do is, let's just say for argument's sake, I want to add all 3 of those together. So what I would do this is the way I do it, other people do it differently, but in order to try, if you were to try and incorporate all 3 of these formulas in one, adding them all up, yes, this one is fairly methodical, so it should be okay. But what happens if you want to say, for example, that one divided by that one plus that one? Let's do that instead. So if we say equals that one divided by that one plus that one. Now, in order just to enforce the whole BODMAS brackets thing, let's put those 2 in brackets. And then we've got that one divided by that one plus that. So now we've got our answer. 7 divided by 7 is 1 plus 3 equals 4. So we've got our answer. But what I want to do with this nested formula is actually bring these formulas in to that. So what we've effectively done here, what I would suggest doing is, if you were to type this formula up, which included all of these lookups, and you try to remember that with all the lookups, it can get a bit confusing. So what you do is you put the formula in the overarching formula using those cells. What I could have even done is, in order to make this even simpler, I could have done it like this: equals 7 divided by 7 plus 3, and then put those brackets in there. So what I'm effectively doing is I'm creating a placeholder. I'm doing the formulas using numbers before I actually change each of these values to another formula in order to create a nested formula, so that I can see, A, that I've done it correctly, because I know what that answer should be, so I can see what that is. And then I can say, all right, fine, I've got the correct formula, the brackets are all in the right places, everything is correct. So now I just need to replace that 7, I need to replace that 7, and I need to replace that 3 with the correct formula. Then what I do is I go in for the 7, I copy that, excluding the equal sign. I come in here and I replace the first 7. And then I go to the second 7. I want to replace that second 7. So now I come here to the second 7. I copy that formula, excluding the equal sign, and I put that in there. And then I go to the 3, and I copy the 3, and I replace the 3, and now it gives me the correct answer. And now I've got this hugely long and impressive looking formula, but yet we know it's working correctly because we've been through and we've tested it and we've got those individual ones. So what I would normally do, even if you don't need that, even if you're not doing the individual lookups, you just want to go straight from that table to that nested formula. What I would do is use these temporarily to work out each one. Do it off the screen somewhere, use them temporarily just to work out each one. Then put the basic formula in, which is what you need, a nested formula. So use some numbers in this place. You can see that it's working correctly and you've got all the brackets in the right place and all that kind of thing is all correct. And then just simply go and change each of these formulas, replace the holding value that you put in place for that. And once you've finished, you know that that's correct. Because the problem is if you try to type this all up in one go, chances are you're probably going to get one of these brackets or commas or something in the wrong place, and then it doesn't work, and then you're trying to figure out why it doesn't work and where it's broken and how to fix it, and it becomes a pain. Whereas if you just break those nested formulas up into little pieces and then add them in one at a time, makes it so much easier. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you. Thank you. Bye-bye.